Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So today is Monday, May 22nd, and I am 23% into City of Lost Souls, and I am reading this with one of my friends, and the plan is to finish it this week, so I probably will do that. I will also read... I don't really remember the title of the book, but it's the second and last in the series of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. So yeah, I also want to read that. And as usual, I don't really have more plans than just a couple books. So, I mean, I will read whatever I feel like at the time. But honestly, it might be horror, because I'm craving some horror. I haven't read a horror book in like a couple weeks. So those are the plans, and welcome to the vlog. Hello, hi. I am struggling with reading. I mean, I'm not struggling because like I am reading, but I am not enjoying what I'm reading. So I am 50-ish% into The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, something like that. And it's just focusing so much on the romance. And I mean, this is like fantasy romance. And where is the fantasy plot? You know, there was like one part that was so fun because we were actually getting, you know, action and fighting, and there was like such a unhinged, crazy character that just made everything like exciting. And I was like, okay, this is actually going well. But then that was like resolved so fast, and they're just focusing on their feelings, and I was neutral about the romance, and I'm not anymore. I don't like it. I am tired of it. I am angry every time, especially one of them. They're always like thinking about how much they like love the other person, and every time they think that, I just roll my eyes. Like I physically cannot stop myself from rolling my eyes, and I am not having a fun time. And then an even less fun time is City of Lost Souls. I am 76% in because I am trying to like get it over with, you know? Half of the time I might not even be listening to the audiobook. I space out, and like I get back and I feel like I didn't lose anything because nothing is happening. Yeah, I mean, what is happening, like I said in my previous video, is just about Jace and obviously Clary, because she's like trying to save him, and I couldn't care any less. Also, like in that one, there's nothing happening and it's just feelings. That's not what I signed up for. That is not what I want. I want action. I want a plot. I want fights. I want something, you know, something other than feelings. But that is what's happening. So I am indeed struggling. I am definitely not having a lot of fun in any of the books, but the first one I talked about, whose title I forgot already, that is still more fun because the little plot that we do have is definitely like fun. Like I am excited when we get any like progress in that. I like it. This one, I truly could not care less. But those are the updates. But also I got some books today, and it's the first 3 books in the, what is this called? Stormlight Archives? Is that it? Yes, it is. That is it. And yeah, I bought these like before Book Depository closed, and I still have half of like the other half of my order to come. But these are like, what is this size called? Is it mass market paperback? Is that what they're called in English? I have no idea, but I'm gonna assume it is. And like the really small ones. And I don't really like these kinds of books, but also they were like on a mega discount, so I bought them. And like, dude, the font of the third one, not this one, yeah, yeah, the font of this book, look how tiny that is, bro. How am I supposed to read that? But they do have drawings, so you know that did make me happy. And now that I want to show you one, I'm not going to be able to find any, right? Yeah, surely not. Sure, I mean, why would I find something that I need like ever in my life? I found one. So yeah, they're pretty. They have a very, very small font. I mean, the other ones, like, it's small but readable. This one, it's gonna be a hell of a struggle, but they are pretty. Probably when I buy the fourth, I don't know if I'm gonna find it in this format, so they might be different, and that will annoy me for the rest of my life, but it is what it is, you know? So, yeah, those are the updates. I am gonna finish both books, hopefully by tomorrow, and then I'm gonna get into hopefully something more interesting. And yeah, that is it. That is the update for now, and I'll probably play it again on Friday. Hello, my friends. So I have finished the two books that I was reading, and let's talk about the City of Lost Souls first. And I actually ended up liking it more than I thought I would. And I'm not saying that I liked it. I gave it 2.5 stars, but the last maybe like 20% was actually exciting and fun and good. Like I was actually invested in what was happening. I was having fun. I was excited. And yeah, I really actually liked the ending, except like one scene in the epilogue where Jason and Clary were talking about their feelings. That one I kind of wanted to skip. But the rest of the ending, I actually really liked it. And like I said, I gave it 2.5 stars. And I feel like the biggest plot twist was that I like this more than The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, because that one just really didn't work for me. And I was so disappointed because I really liked the first book and I also really liked the novella. And so I was actually expecting to like this one as well. And it just didn't work for me. I just felt like the characters were acting very unlike what I expected them to act, like from what I got to know them in the other book. It just felt like they weren't acting as they should. And also there were so many choices and actions that were taken that also felt so unrealistic. Like people would never actually act that way, I feel like. And I mean, the main problem really is that I was bored because I felt like nothing was happening. In the first half, I think I said that was like one specific scene that I really enjoyed because it was so unhinged and crazy and, you know, action-packed. And I was like, okay, this might actually be good. But then nothing happened again. And even like the fight that we did get in the second half of the book, it was so underwhelming. And I was just really, really bored. I was either bored or angry reading this book, which, you know, not a good thing. So I gave this one 2 stars, and I'm really sad that I didn't like it. But anyway, we move on. And actually, I didn't remember, like when I did the intro for this vlog, I didn't remember that in this weekend is gonna be like the celebration. I don't really know how this is called. I mean, I don't even know what this is called in Portuguese, so I definitely don't know what this is called in English, but it's like the celebration of my town. And I mean, technically it's a religious celebration, but I only go there for the concerts and the food. And it's this weekend. And my friend is coming over on Sunday. And so there is actually something exciting happening this week that I did not remember at all until like 2 days ago. So yeah, that's happening. Also, the other day I was talking to that one friend and we were talking about the Vampire Diaries because we talk about the Vampire Diaries like an unreasonable amount of times. We spend a lot of time talking about it, like all of the, like we try to make sense of it, even though it doesn't. And we always end up talking about like all the plot holes that exist and how nothing makes sense. And yet we still love the show. And yeah, we just talk a lot about the Vampire Diaries for no reason. But we were talking about it, as we do, and we might read the books because we hate ourselves, because I mean, why else would we do that? But if we both read it together, at least we'll be suffering together, which is definitely better than suffering alone. So that might happen. I might read the Vampire Diary books at some point. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's the word. And yeah, I am gonna now move on to horror because, you know, this fantasy that I read this week is really not working out for me. So I'm gonna move on to horror. And I'm hoping it will work for me. And I'm going to read Little Heaven. Do I know what this is about? Not really. I read 2 books from this author. One of them I really liked, which was The Troop. And the other I read, I think was called The Deep. And that one I gave 3 stars. I don't really remember what I didn't like about it, but I know that it wasn't really like scaring me. But the body horror elements of it were really, really good. I feel like, I mean, that's what I think I remember from that. And in The Troop, the body horror was also chef's kiss. So I'm excited. And I think this one also has body horror. So, I mean, I love body horror. So I'm excited for this. I think this might have a cult in it. But then again, maybe it doesn't, because I really don't know anything about it. There's a place that is called Little Heaven. And that has cult name, right? Little Heaven sounds like a cult. So yeah, I'm gonna read that. I'm probably gonna start reading something else because I usually like to have like 2 books going at the same time, but I have no idea what that second book is gonna be. So those are the plans. I might update you on, I was gonna say on Saturday, but like Saturday is tomorrow. Am I gonna have anything to say? Probably not. But also Sunday is like when my friend's here and like the biggest day of the celebration. And I'm probably not gonna be reading either. So it's actually gonna be either tomorrow or Monday. But either way, I am excited to be scared. And yeah, I will talk to you whenever I talk to you. Hello, so I am here to end the vlog, and to be very honest with you, I don't know if I had already started reading Little Heaven in my last updates or not. So like I don't remember if I talked about it, but I'm just gonna assume I didn't. And if I did, I'll just cut this out. But Little Heaven was a horror book, and we followed two different timelines. One was in 1965 and the other was in 1980. And we're following three characters whose names I already don't remember. But in the past timeline was where they met, and they met actually because two of them had been hired to kill the third, but then they all like got in trouble together, and so they were all running from the police together. And while they're running, they meet a woman who is looking for her nephew because her nephew was taken to Little Heaven, which is kind of like a cult. And she asks those three people to help her find her nephew. And so they all go together and they find the cult, but they also find something weird in the woods, like some weird creature. And that creature is actually described in the prologue. And honestly, the prologue was the creepiest part of this book because, I mean, it started off so good and I was like, okay, this is gonna be creepy. But then it kind of wasn't. And I mean, there were definitely some creepy and some disgusting scenes, which were fun to read. But also, I just don't think this was my type of horror. And I was a little bored throughout a big chunk of the book. And so, I mean, it was just okay. And I gave it 3 stars. And then my friend did come to my place and we did go to like the concerts and stuff. And we also watched a show, a Portuguese show that came out, I think last week, and that was called Rabo de Peixe. And I think in English it's Turn of the Tide, which is like, it has nothing to do with the name in Portuguese because Rabo de Peixe is the town that the characters are from, and that has nothing to do with Turn of the Tide. But I mean, it does make sense with the story. And yeah, that was fun. And it was weird to like hear people talking Portuguese. And I mean, the narrator, because there was a narrator of the story, and he talked like in Portuguese and then English, like mixed together. And that is literally how me and my friend talk to each other. So that was very relatable. And there were also like a couple of Italian characters, and like I could understand everything that they said. And I mean, I guess the 5 months that I lived in Italy were, I mean, they were enough for me to fully understand what they were saying, and I am very proud of myself for that. And so that is what happened. And yeah, my friend is now gone. She left a while ago, and yeah, that is the end of this vlog. So let's wrap up what I read. So I finished City of Lost Souls. I read The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and I read Little Heaven, and that was 1,580 pages, which I am very happy with. And so this is the end of this weekly reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a like and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!